It's no secret that Hollywood is one of the main places where the mind of most people is manipulated, influencing thoughts, actions, fashion trends and beliefs. Not only through movies, but also by creating idols from clay whose fans blindly follow without questioning anything and try to imitate their actions. One such symbol that is widely used among celebrities and their fans is the gesture of sticking out one's tongue. We see Israeli-American singer and musician Gene Simmons, known for his character the demon, the devil, sticking out his tongue and using the symbolism of the horned hand. Some believe this is a sign of rebellion or love, but nothing is further from the truth. They are not used casually for no reason, but with an underlying intention. Do the young people who imitate this gesture of their idols really know its origin and meaning? If they were aware of it, many of them would perhaps be disappointed and frightened. There are figures of ghosts, demons or deities with similar characteristics, all sticking out their tongues, looking straight ahead, being vulgar and usually sitting in a squatting position. The curious thing is that these representations can be found in different eras. Some are even so old that their origins are lost in the mists of history. They are scattered all over the world, in America, Europe, India, although everywhere with different names. This is just another proof that in the past there were one or more civilizations scattered all over the world, connected with each other and worshipping basically the same gods. In Bali, Indonesia, there is a mythological figure of the bloodthirsty Rangda, the child eater, the mistress of black magic and queen of an army of Layaks, a type of demon. This figure is well known in Balinese folklore. She is characterized by her white hair that reaches her feet, from which protrude the bulging eyes and the twisted fangs of her mask. And her tongue, which consists of a 60 centimeter long leather strip, hangs out of her mouth. She wears white gloves with huge claws and covers her ugly face with a white cloth so that she can approach her victims undetected. This figure is displayed at festivals dedicated to her temple, and it is said that both Layaks and demons are the followers of Rangda. It is said that Layaks have the ability to transform into animals and that they can fly. During the day they look like humans, but at night they transform. Some Balinese blame the Layaks for certain diseases or deaths. Nevertheless, they decorate the walls of their houses with their figures. The demon Rangda fights Barong, who represents the forces of good. Another god, demon or spirit, small and mocking, is Bes, or its female counterpart Beset, found in Egyptian mythology, although here Bes is considered the protector of houses and children and is also associated with sexual pleasure. Bes is the fool of the gods, the grotesque god who makes people laugh, but at the same time is the repulsive spirit who creates fear. He was believed to ward off evil spirits that could attack humans in their sleep. He is depicted as a kind of dwarf spirit, bearded, with long mane of hair and tongue sticking out. Usually he is naked or covered only with a lion skin. He is also depicted facing forward, which is different from other figures in Egyptian art. According to some researchers, he was known much earlier as Lord of Punt or Lord of Nubia. In some ancient texts, the land of Punt seems to be located on the coast of Somalia. The Lord of Punt is also known as the god Belinus, who is usually depicted frontally, naked, with large genitals, large head, flat nose, tongue sticking out, and beard. In Irish, Gaelic and Asturian, he is known as Belinus. In Irish, Gaelic and Asturian, he is known as Belinus, and he was worshipped at the medieval Irish festival celebrated on 1st of May. In Celtic mythology, he is also known as Belinus. Interestingly, in the comics of Asterix and Obelix, the exclamation "to Belinus" is used. The worship of the Egyptian god Bes was adopted from the 10th century BC by the Phoenicians, who worshipped this deity along with others such as Astarte, Baal, Anat, Dagon, Pam, and Moloch, spreading it throughout the Mediterranean from the east to the south of the Iberian Peninsula. Phoenician coins have been found in Ibiza, in which the god Bes holds a mace in his right hand and a knife in his left. The Phoenicians founded a settlement in 654 BC on the so-called island of Bes, today's Ibiza. This deity is associated with fun, festivities and fertility and was later renamed Baruget or Barufet in Christianity. Interestingly, in New Zealand, a warrior dance known as haka is practiced, assuming a posture very similar to that of the Bes idol. In India, on the other hand, there is the goddess Kali, whose name is derived from Kala, which means darkness in Sanskrit. This goddess has several arms. In one hand she holds a head, in another a sword, and in a third a cup full of blood. The necklace with which she decorates her neck, and which consists of 51 human heads, is striking. If we go to America, in Mayan culture we find Kinich Ahau, the lord of the sun face. Ahau means lord or priest. According to belief, during the day when he traveled through the sky, he was benevolent, life-giving and light-giving. But after nightfall, on his nocturnal journey through the underworld, he became the jaguar god. Because of this daily change, he is considered the creator of time and the origin of the future. The Maya believed that they should not anger him because he could cause disease, drought or devastating storms. This deity demanded blood sacrifices in return for his protection and blessings, which is why dances and sacrifices were made before every battle. In the depictions of this god, he appears as an old man with a big nose and yellow clothes, and coincidentally, he is also depicted with his tongue sticking out, making a mocking expression with narrowed eyes, an attitude that reminds us of the mocking spirit of Bes. The Akin were responsible for performing the sacrificial rituals in which the hearts of the victims were offered to the Mayan gods. This office was hereditary and passed from father to son. The high priest was called Akin Mai, and he was the soothsayer and advisor to the village chief. We see that in all cultures, these beings who pretend to be gods have two opposite faces, one good and one bad. When they show their good side, they do so only with the intention of deceiving. They pretend that they want to help. Only when they show their bad side do you see what they are really like. Those who use these gestures make it clear that they are consciously or unconsciously in the service of non-human beings who hate all humanity, and when they make a pact with them, they do not know what a high price they pay for their glory. To stick out one's tongue is a sign of submission to those beings whom the ancient Gnostics called archons, and against whom Giordano Bruno had already warned us. The fact that this symbol, more typical of demons or gods, is used by the representatives of Hollywood is just another sign that those non-human beings who dominated mankind in the past are still among us, and although they are hidden behind a curtain, in this theater of life they continue to try to exert their power and influence without us noticing, even if they have a much harder time each time.